If you could get paid $1.29 every time someone clicks on a link, how many times would you want that link clicked on each and every day? And now, to see if you have what it takes to make money for each and every click, I got a couple questions. Number one, have you ever seen a website that looks like this? Let me know in the comments below. Number two, have you ever seen a weird Facebook ad that looks like this? Or an ad on a different website that looks something like this? Apparently they're selling a Walmart bag in a frame. Or ads that look like this, or even this weird looking hot tub thing. And if you answered yes to any of these questions, I think you have what it takes to start making money for each and every click you can generate. But you might be asking yourself, why would an ad like this actually make money? And the key is in remembering this website. What happens here is very important. You have someone browsing the internet who doesn't really know what they're looking at. Maybe they're looking at Facebook, or maybe they're reading an article about the 13 craziest places celebrities live. And this person who doesn't know what they want, that's just out there browsing the internet, is not worth much money at all. So our job is to figure out how to take someone that is worth nothing and make them worth lots of money. And the way you're going to do that is with an important marketing term known as interest. No, not the kind of interest you pay on your mortgage, the kind of interest that gets people's attention. This here is the first rule of marketing. And once all of this makes sense to you, you're going to be able to print money on demand. Disclaimer, when we use the word print money, we're not talking about actually printing money. That's the government's job. This is figuratively known as being able to create value out of thin air. Well, let me show you what I mean. The next word in our marketing acronym is desire. Can we get this guy who's not worth anything over on Facebook or on some random blog to desire something that'll make him worth more money? Enter the weird ad. If I can get him interested in clicking on this ad, which lots of people would be like, hey, wait a minute, what kind of jacuzzi is that, and why don't I have one? Then I can narrow down the focus and say, hey, this guy is interested in a jacuzzi. And these jacuzzi companies here are paying tons of money for each and every click on these little buttons that go to their website. And that brings us to the last letter in our acronym, which is action. If we could take a random person that's searching the internet and doesn't really know what they want, grab their attention with something that looks interesting, get their interest by talking about what it is, create the desire to learn more by clicking on our ad, and then get them to take action by clicking on the links that pay us money. And this is how I've made between $1.29 and over $8 a click, just getting people to click on ads and links that pay me money. Let me show you how it works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the show. Today, what we are going to do is we are going to go through and we're going to put ChatGPT 4 to the test to see if it can find us hidden money. Now, this is something super simple. It's something super easy. It's something that I know you listening at home can in fact do. Now, this is going to be something very important. You're going to want to pay attention, smash a like button, and we're going to dive in and show you how this works. Now, I got ChatGPT loaded up. Luckily, we were able to get in. It was at high capacity, but I found a way around it by paying 20 bucks a month or whatever it is. And we're going to go through and we're going to take a look at how ChatGPT 4 can help you find hidden money in literally any market you can think of. So if you're out there and you're like, Marcus, I see ads, I'm paying attention to the stuff that you talk about, but how do I actually get paid? Well, this is going to show you exactly how to get paid, and it's actually super simple. So we're going to dive in. We're going to talk about how this works. First of all, what we need to understand is we need to understand something that I call the trigger word method. This is something I've been using since about 2002, maybe even 2001. I don't remember the exact date. And what we would do is we would use trigger words based on what people search for to find hidden paths into markets that cost a lot of money. So when we're going out there and we're looking at markets that cost a lot of money, what we need to do is we need to find a backdoor. All right, because if you go out there and you type mortgage in Google or in any search engine for that matter, what you're going to see is that it's super, super, super competitive and very difficult to get into. So what we're going to do is we are going to use a keyword tool. Maybe we're going to use Ahrefs or the Hoth free keyword tool. You can use the Hoth free keyword tool. Keyword planner. I think it's the Hoth free keyword planner. And we can actually use these to see exactly what's going on, right? Now, what you're going to notice here is that if I go to, let's go to keyword research here, and I type something in like mortgage, I got to sound it out there, right? And I go ahead and type this in like this, prove to the robot that I'm not a robot. You know, maybe ChatGPT can do that for us one day. But we're going to take a look here, and you're going to see that this traffic is, in fact, super competitive. We're looking at this traffic, and we're like, hey, wait a minute. What's going on here? Why is this so competitive? And when you look at this stuff, you are going to see that the cost per click is like $5 a click. You're going to see that the competition is ridiculously competitive. You're going to see that there is no real way for someone like you and me to get in on this market. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our trigger words. Now, if you don't have the trigger words yet, you can go to downloadmynotes.com. You can download the trigger words and everything like that. Now, what the trigger words are going to do is they are going to show us backdoors into a certain market. Now, this is very important that you understand this, okay? If you look at here, you can see a list of the keywords. Now, when you're looking at a list of the trigger words, you're going to notice that this list really doesn't have anything to do with anything at all, right? Like find, exercise. We don't really know what these people want. Therefore, it's not obvious, right? When you have an obvious market like mortgages or something like that, what you're going to notice is that the competition goes through the roof. So what we're going to do here is we are going to use these. So maybe we're going to go through and we'll do something like decrease. We could go over here and type in decrease and hit view this here, and we could see all kinds of different things that people want to decrease. All right. Now we could also go in and say, well, maybe we'll do estimate. Right? Maybe people want to estimate something. And we could do estimate here. We can even use our Ahrefs tool like this. And we're going to see what people want. So we could see here they want an Uber estimate, tax refund estimate, car insurance estimate. Now what we're seeing here is that the competition is drastically going down. Now, this is super important. What you're going to learn here in this training is several different things that have to do with you being able to make money. Now, whether you're doing SEO, paid traffic, whether you're doing social media traffic, running ads, whatever it is, you can do this, and oftentimes you can do this free. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the stuff that's going on here, and we're going to put it into something else. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we need to take something. So remember those ads that I talked about in the beginning. All right, we know that these ads pay lots and lots of money. Okay, now when you know that an ad pays lots and lots of money, that is telling us that, hey, there's advertisers out there, this is worth money, this is important to look at, okay? If you're with me, smash a like button, let me know in the comments, say, Marcus, I am with you, I get it, advertisers are paying money. Very important. Like, famous TV shows like, The Singing Show or The Bachelor or whatever it is, they exist because advertisers pay lots of money for traffic. So when we understand that, we know one of the constants. Okay, the constant is people are paying money. Now, when we go through here and we look at this, we are going to go through and take a look at the trigger words, and we're going to take a look at the expensive keywords. So right here, what I did is I went to ChatGPT 4, very cool, and I went here and I was like, okay, can you tell me the 50 highest paying AdSense keywords and their earnings and costs? So what this is going to do is this is going to let ChatGPT 4 show us this constant. This will not stop. Like, you could look at it, you could say, Marcus, I don't like you, I don't like your websites. Fine, great, wonderful. But This you can't argue with. This is people paying. This is people that are paying for ads. And when we look at this, we say, hey, check this out. We got people paying for these ads. Now, what ChatGPT did is it went through and gave me the 50 highest paying AdSense keywords and the amount that is being paid. So we can see here that in the insurance market, right, the keyword for insurance, car insurance, house insurance, life insurance, all of the insurances is estimated at like $61 a click. All right, what does that mean? That means that on average, these advertisers are paying or are willing to pay $61 for one click to their website. And you might be saying, Marcus, this is mind-boggling. How are these companies going to pay $60 for one click to their website? Well, the reason they're doing that is because they make tons and tons of money. So if we understand that these people here, insurance, loans, mortgages, attorney, credit, lawyer, all these people are paying tons and tons of money. Smash a like button if you get that. If you're like, I get it, that is a constant, you can take that to the bank. Okay, now, I don't know how I'm gonna get it, but I do know that it's out there. And all we need to do is know that it's out there. This is important. Then what we are going to do is we are going to take a look at our trigger words here, and we're going to start to understand what's going on. Because if I can find, as I mentioned, a back door into this market, then everything is going to start to change, because then I can find hidden money that other people don't know exists. This is powerful. All right, a lot of people are talking about using ChatGPT for content and writing books and all this other stuff. They're missing the point entirely, because here's the deal. People writing little books with ChatGPT might be making $1,000 every 10 years. But Google is making hundreds of billions. I think last year the statement was that they made over $250 billion. Now, you think about that. I was just on a trip up to Jacksonville. We saw a concert, and while we are on that trip, we passed by an Amazon facility. And this thing was insane. Like, you can fit a city inside the Amazon facility. And we look at that and we're like, okay, Amazon made a lot of money, billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, and they have all these buildings. But Google, what does Google have? Google just like literally exists on the internet. That's it, it just exists on the internet. There's one building in California somewhere. But when we look at this, we're like, well, what is it that Google is making money with? Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we talked about is this. How does Google get $250 billion a year? By selling clicks for $61 each. That's how. And we start to understand that, wait a minute, this is a market that is super huge. And we're not talking about just one or two things. We're talking about a lot of stuff that's making a lot of money. And again, I'm going to post this list on the notes. So if you go to downloadmynotes.com, we will have these available for you. We have trading, we have conference call, claim, hosting, and all these different things here. And so when we start to understand that, hey, wait a minute, here's 50 keywords that are over $25 a click. Now, disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, we need to get something at the get-go straight up, all right? Are you going to make $50, $60, $25 a click? No, you're not. But can you get a portion of that? Yes, I think you can. Now, for all disclaimer purposes, I showed a screenshot earlier, this screenshot here, where I was averaging, I think it was about $6 a click on this. My highest average was, I think, $8.25 or $9 or something like that. And that was on like thousands of clicks. I think we got like 30,000 clicks or something like that. Whatever $250,000 equals, or 270 or something like that. And we start to understand that, okay, I'm starting to get it. While I might not get $8 or $5 or whatever, what if I could get $1 or 50 cents or something like that? Now we are starting to understand where the where the rubber meets the road. And we start to look at this and be like, hey, wait a minute, this makes sense. Okay, I don't know exactly how it's working yet, but this makes sense. And when you start to understand that these people are paying, okay, I might not get all the money, might not get it all, but if I can get some, now we're talking. And if you can understand that, and if you're like, Marcus, I just want to get some of it, that makes sense to me. I like that. Then we go through and we look at this and we say, how do we do it? Okay, first, we need to understand our trigger words. Our trigger words are going to take us through and they will tell us exactly what to do. Estimate, find, guides, hints, help, calculator. Calculator is always a good one. When we have calculator, we can see what types of calculators people are looking for, right? Like this. Okay, calculator, mortgage calculator, BMI calculator. Now, when we look at these, we're going to start to understand what these people are looking for, and we are going to see the competition drastically go down. And now you might be saying, well, Marcus, you know, is this theory? A lot of people think that what I talk about is theory, but we need to understand something, because when we go through here, I actually had a website in the mortgage calculator niche. I sold it. We were paying 30 cents a click. Traffic was super cheap. I was flipping it and making, I think, $1,700 a day in profit in this market. So I know this market. I've been out there. I've tested it. I know that it's a lot less competitive than if you're just doing mortgage or something like that, right? If you go here and you type in Google like mortgage calculator, okay, you're going to see sponsored to, okay, not a whole ton of them, but if we do something like mortgage refinance, now you're going to see lots and lots of sponsored, okay? Now, there's a little hint I want to talk to you about that has to do with the banking crisis that's going on right now. How many of you guys would like to make money with it? And you're like, okay, I see it everywhere. It's on the news. It's everywhere, okay? I'm going to show you how this works, but you got to pay close attention, because when we understand that there's separate things here, okay? The separate things are the money and the traffic, okay? A lot of people combine these, and they're like, well, Marcus, I'm in the mortgage refinance market. No, you're not. You need to figure out how you're getting traffic and how that traffic is making money. Because I could literally go out there and I could say, okay, well, right now there is a banking crisis. Started with Silicon Valley Bank, and that banking crisis is getting lots of traffic and lots of eyeballs. You might say, well, Marcus, why are all these YouTubers making videos on the banking crisis? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's because the ads are paying tons and tons and tons of money. And if you can understand how to bridge this gap, we'll draw a little bridge here. Okay, if you can understand how to bridge the gap from someone over here looking at something that gets easy traffic to something over here that pays lots of money, ladies and gentlemen, you are in it to win it. If you're in it to win it, smash the like button. Let's dive in. Let's talk about how this works and how ChatGPT is going to help us make this work in a very, very simple way. Now, when we go through, we know trigger word method, got it. That's going to find our traffic. That's all the trigger word method does. That's it. Okay? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to understand 3 words. Okay? And I'll draw this out for you. Let's see if we can draw this out. And I don't know, maybe we can save this page for later. Hopefully. All right? We're going to draw this out. What we have here is a funnel, okay? Now, not like a click funnel or a whatever funnel. This is the funnel of marketing. It's a basic term where you're gonna take people here that are at the top of the funnel, okay? And we got lots of people, all right? Here they go. There's all the people. Gotta give them legs, otherwise it's gonna look really weird. All right, so there's all our people. And now the people at the top of the funnel might not be the people that end up at the bottom of the funnel. Very important. A guy up here looking for a mortgage calculator. What are the chances of him actually getting a mortgage through our website? Well, I mean, they're pretty good, but they're not as good as up here. right? Up here is all the people. So if you say, hey, up here, I got these people, and they might be interested in X, Y, and Z, and down here, 10% of them actually convert into a click. This is important. Pay attention. Even if you feel like this is above your head, even if you feel like you don't understand this yet, keep watching. It's going to make sense. At the end, you're going to be like, wow, I just watched a free YouTube video and learned more than other people are charging $2,000 for. I know, because I bought their courses, and I teach some pretty good stuff after being in this industry for 23 years. Now, when we look at this, we need to understand where these people are coming in the funnel. Then we can use ChatGPT, or PT. There we go. ChatGPT, that's what that says right there. And we're going to use version 4. Now, when we get this, we're going to understand that this is what we call top of funnel. This is what we call bottom of funnel. Bottom of funnel is the next best thing to, like, they bought your product or clicked a link or did something that makes you money. Here you have middle of funnel. Okay, so you might have someone up here looking for mortgage calculator. Then here you might have someone looking for mortgage rates, which is a little closer. Here you have someone looking for mortgage application. Everyone get it? Let me know. If you're getting it, good. Smash the like button. If you're getting it, I want to see lots of like buttons smashed. That lets me know that you're getting it. Now, when we understand this, we can literally go over and say, okay, cool. I know this is the high-paying stuff. I know there's a top, middle, and bottom of funnel. Now, always, without fail, bottom of funnel, expensive. Bottom of funnel is money. That's what that is, all right? So we're gonna understand, hey, bottom of funnel equals money. Top of funnel, a little bit of money, all right? You got it? There we go. So we're gonna go through. Don't worry, it's prop money. All right, we're going to go through and we're looking at it. We're like, okay, top of funnel, bottom of funnel. There we go. Now, we're going to go through and we're going to take a look. What we need to do here is we need to keep in mind our expensive stuff. Then we need to find a back door, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ask ChatGPT for what are the highest paying things. Then pay close attention. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about to get extremely good. So pay close attention to what you are about to see. When you see it, when you get the aha moment, I want you to smash the like button so that I know that you got it. Now, ChatGPT, find me the 50 highest paying AdSense keywords. It doesn't just work for AdSense, it works for anything. Just follow with me here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to pick one out, okay? I'm going to say, ChatGPT, what are some top of the funnel keywords that people would search for that would eventually lead to the blank market, okay? So we're going to ask ChatGPT to find us some top of the funnel keywords that are going to lead to the other stuff. This is important because when we talked about these ads here in the beginning, these ads are why that other stuff makes so much money. Now, when we do this, we're going to figure out what they are. And I don't remember where my ads are. There they are. Cool. We got our ads. All right. So when we look at this, we're going to go through and say, great. Mortgage calculator, mortgage types, first-time home buyer, mortgage pre-approval, home loan rates, mortgage lender reviews, mortgage refinance. So here we go. This is looking pretty good, okay? We can also say, what are some keywords people would use in the mortgage application market before closing on a loan? Boom. This is going to give me stuff that is super, super important. Now we start to look at this and we're like, okay, here's some keywords or phrases. Hurry up, ChatGPT 4. Mortgage application checklist. Okay. Mortgage underwriting. Excellent. So we could go through and do something like underwriting. Let's see, mortgage. Come on now. Underwriting. underwriting. Okay, and stay tuned. I'm going to show you a way to use ChatGPT 4 to actually predict and get tons of traffic with stuff that's going on right now. So now we look at this and we're like, okay, mortgage underwriting process. Now this is a lot less competitive than the other stuff. How long does mortgage underwriting take? These are people that are in the process of buying a house. They can go through, you could talk to them about different mortgage things, different rates, how to get a guaranteed rate or how to get a backup lender or whatever it is. And we start to understand, okay, now we got something that we can work with. Okay, now let me give you another little tip here. Okay, we're going to use the tip of the banking crisis. Okay, we have banking crisis, and I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, so Silicon Valley Bank, all these other banks, they collapsed because of whatever reason. Okay, Google it, you can figure it out. Now, when we go through and we say, okay, there's a bank crisis, which means right now keywords related to banking are really high, okay? And if we do something like we go to Google, okay, and this is a tip to see if you're paying attention to my other videos, and we do something like SVB Bank, okay, Silicon Valley Bank, what you're gonna see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different news reports that were all put up within the last hour. One of them was a day ago, but most were in the last hour. So we look at this and we're like, okay, cool. So now we have this. We can also go to Google Trends, right, like this, and we can look up bank, okay? So let's do bank, boom, and we're gonna see bank is getting really high right now, okay? So we see here the interest over time. We can do past 5 years. Okay, we could see that it's starting to peak. Okay, what does this mean? That means this is getting a lot of traffic. We can also do SVB for SVB Bank. Okay, this one, look at that. Boom. We do the last 5 days, last 7 days, it peaked right there, and it's still peaking. It's still doing really good. Now, what can we do with this? What can we do with this? Well, you could go out there and you could make a press release about your thoughts on the bank, right? I did this. I did a press release back when ChatGPT 3 came out. We got thousands and thousands and thousands of visitors, and I paid for the press release, but you could do free press releases and get pretty much the same results if you're willing to wait. If you're in a hurry and you want to tackle one of these, I would say do it right away. But what you're going to do is you are going to create an article or have ChatGPT do it, and that article is going to be about SVB and why it collapsed. Now, what you are going to do is you're going to take a look at it, right? You're going to say, ChatGPT 4, find me keywords, let's do this, let's see, because we already have the keyword, which is the Silicon Valley Bank. What are some things people can do to protect themselves against or from a bank failure? Right? You don't even have to know this stuff. ChatGPT can find it for you. Bank failures, although rare, really rare, there's been like 3 in my lifetime and I'm only 43, right? Choose a reputable bank. Okay, good. So now what ChatGPT is telling us is, okay, cool. So I can make this article, press release, whatever about the banking stuff. Make a video, whatever it is, right? Now ChatGPT is telling me that I can link them to things that are going to make me lots of money, AKA find a new bank. Okay? New banks pay tons and tons of money. Check the insurance. Okay, maybe you can get deposit insurance on your own, and I'm sure that pays a lot. Diversify your accounts. Keep an eye on your bank's financial health. Limit exposure to high-risk investments. And all these things here, we can see that there's ways to hedge and protect, maintain it. So now all of these, we look at all of these, and let me see if I can shrink this down here. I don't know if it wants to, there we go, we had the arrow, there we go. All of these are gonna lead to things that pay a lot, okay? So watch, pay close attention, you guys are gonna love this. Smash the like button if you already love it. here we go. Choose a reputable bank. Okay, we could do something like high yield savings accounts, okay, or HEAP, I think is how you say it, HYIP, high yield investment something, right? And so watch what happens here. We go over here and we are literally getting traffic for free using the banking stuff. And then we're going to go to the Google AdWords tool, right, like this, and we will do high yield investment plan. I think that's how you do the acronym. Okay, now what we're seeing here is HYIP investment. All right, that one's at $6 a click. Here's one down here, high yield investment program. That's at $8.47 a click. Now again, ladies and gentlemen, are you guaranteed to get $8 for every click? Of course not. Okay, but if you're getting traffic free and you can average 30 cents or $1 or whatever, then I think you can make some serious money. This is exactly what I did, and I have used this method to make upwards of $1,700 a day in profit or more. Again, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed, but we have to look at this, okay? Now, when we're looking at it, we can also say, well, what do the others lead to? All right, well, let's take a look. We have FDIC insurance, okay? So maybe there's something about bank insurer. Okay, maybe we can go through and do, with the AdWords Planner, we'll do bank. And the AdWords Planner is just something that shows us what people are paying on Google. Okay, bank insurance, okay? Let's see if the bank insurance one has a lot. Actually, it does. Look at this, $21 a click for car insurance, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, $5. 11 for this one, bankers insurance, deposit insurance, all this stuff here. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now, what we're looking at is these are on people's minds based on what they're searching for. And if you can understand that, hey, wait a minute, we can predict what people want based on what they're searching for. Right, this is a video I did years ago, actually a very personal video to me, and what I did is I went out there after I got out of rehab. I'm 9 years sober come May, and after I got out of rehab, I was like, I wonder if you could look at my search history and predict that I could have been an alcoholic. Okay, pay attention. You want to make money? You're tired of messing around with videos that don't work? Listen up. If you could have predicted that I would have become an addict or alcoholic, then you could have made a lot of money. Why could you make a lot of money, Marcus? I don't get it. Well, watch this. If we do alcohol rehab, right, like this, get results, watch what's going to happen to these numbers here. 41, 49, 45, 52. And we start to look at this and we're like, wait a minute. Are you telling me that people are paying $152, well, let me show you, dollars a click? Yeah, look at this, alcohol rehab. Here are the keywords people are paying for. Why? Because rehab's expensive. I know, I went there. Good investment for me, but it is expensive. And what's happening is they are getting paid for links on a website. That's all it is. A lot of people glamorize it and say, hey, this is what's going on. But we start to understand, hey, wait a minute. I could do predictive marketing, and I don't even have to be that smart to do it. I could literally go over here and figure out what ChatGPT has to say about it. I could go here and say, new chat. Okay, let's find a keyword. Let's say we want to do, let's say, payday loan. All right, payday loans are kind of iffy, but they do pay a lot of money. Right, $46 a click, 37, on and on we go. So we know, hey, our constant over here is payday loan. That pays a lot. We know that. There's no arguing there. What we also know is there can be backdoors to this. What are some things people that need payday loans would search for before they know they need one? Boom. Now we can go through here. How to make money quickly, financial assistant, how to budget better, credit score, payday loans. Okay, let's try something else. Maybe what are terms people search for related to overdraft fees? Okay, this is a big one. overdraft fees, how to avoid overdraft fees. So now I'm like, hey, payday loans, yay, that is money. All right, now if we go over here and we say, well, maybe I could go for overdraft fees. Okay, now for overdraft fees, we could see this here, like there's going to be no competition. Boom. Go here, nobody's paying. Nobody. There's Forbes, there's some videos, on and on we go. Now, these kind of people would be perfect for, I probably wouldn't promote payday loans because they're kind of but you could do credit cards. Like, hey, you got overdraft, here's an overdraft protection credit card, or here's a better way to manage your stuff, or here's where you can get a personal loan, right? And then when you understand that, we can go through and we can look at this in a completely different way, because it's literally the next best thing to being able to print money on demand. And then we look at it and we're like, okay, well, what are we gonna do here? Right? How many of you guys are liking this stuff? And you're like, hey, this is making sense to me. I'm starting to get it. Okay? You can also do paper calls, as someone mentioned, where you can do like personal loan. Okay, so if we go to like Offer Vault or something like that, we can look at, hold on one second. So if we go to Offer Vault here, we could see here personal loans, $180, net care personal loan, all different kinds of personal loans that pay lots of money. Now, we need to understand that this is what ties into it. And if we start to understand this and say, okay, well, let's take a look at this. I could literally just go to these 50 top keywords and say, well, let's see, maybe I want legal services, okay? When you have legal services, you can say like what to do after this, what to do after you receive this notice, right? And you could go through and say, okay, asset management, business services, data recovery, all right? You guys all want to see something that's bottom of the funnel and top of the funnel for data recovery? When we look at this, we're like, hey, wait a minute, this is starting to make sense. I'm starting to get it. Because now with data recovery, you could do something like this. New chat, we'll use ChatGPT 4, right? And we could say something like, what are some computer viruses that affect hard disk data? Boom. Let's see what they are. Hopefully it'll give us some names. Sometimes you have to do a little tweak in here, but we're gonna see exactly what's going on, because if we could predict this stuff, boom, there you go, which is really cool, okay? So now we're seeing that there's lots of stuff. It's being a little slow, but we will see exactly how this works, okay? So now it's actually giving us the different names, right? So CIH virus, okay? Let's see if people search for it. All right, so there you go. You got 1,200 people a month searching for that. Okay? Now, look at the competition. Like, it doesn't even register a cost per click. It's not even on the radar, which means there is literally no competition, right? Or you can do master boot record viruses, or whatever these other ones are. And we start to look at this, and we could do what are the top computer virus exe files, right? And it's going to go through, and we're going to look at this and say, hey, wait a minute, let's take a look here, okay? And we'll go here, and it's going to give us a little description. Okay? All right. There we go. Executable viruses, okay. Screensaver files, okay. So we could go through, check this out, all right? You guys all want like a tip that's crazy awesome? All right, if you do, smash the like button. If you don't, you know, that's all good. But if you do, smash the like button for the old algorithm. All right, you want a way to make this work. Let me show you how it works. We'll go over here to the old board, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at this. All right, okay, so I literally just used ChatGPT 4 to find a market that pays lots of money, okay? We got Data recovery. Okay, so all I need to do is get people to think about data recovery. That's it. All I got to do is get them to think and click. Think and click. Obviously, you want to do this ethically. You always want to tell the truth. You don't want to mess the system up, because if you do, at the end of the day, the advertisers aren't going to pay. You got to give them good traffic. However, what if I go through and say, well, I'm going to write an article about 10 computer viruses or whatever that you didn't know exist that could completely wipe out your hard drive. Ah, wait a minute. So that's something where I could go through and I can make a little image, I could share it on Facebook, I can run an ad, I can do a news report about here's the top viruses for 2023, I can do a news report about how ChatGPT could help with this stuff, or whatever, right? We could be trending, we could be up on the data, as it were. And then we're gonna go through, and in our article, okay, our article is going to be made with us making money in mind, because that's why we're doing it. We're here to make money. We're not here to mess around. If you're here to make money, smash that like button. Let's get to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this article in a way that tells them, hey, your data is at risk. Your data is at risk. All right? These are the 10 viruses. This is how it wipes out computers. This is the deal. Now, to be preventative and secure your data, go over here and read my article on the top 5 ways to protect your data. Method number 1, get data recovery. Method number 2, get a backup program. Cloud backup pays a fortune. Method number 3, get a virus software. Method number 4, get a malware software. All this stuff is going to pay money. Now, do you see, ladies and gentlemen, how we just flipped them from, hey, look at these viruses that could be scary and mess up your computer, to now we're getting paid lots of money per click. Okay, did you guys get it? I'm gonna let you guys smash the like button to let me know you got it, because this is important stuff. And now, once we get it, we can say, hey, wait a minute, Marcus. Are you telling me I could literally come over here to ChatGPT number 4 and I can make this do the work for me? Yeah, I could literally go out here, right here, and I could say, write me a 1,500 or 2,500 or whatever it is you want, word article on the top computer viruses and how they ruin computers. Boom. The top computer viruses and their devastating impact on computers. And then we could say, hey, make it a little clickbaity so that people will click on it. Okay, it's going to give us the lowdown here, which means we get to take a little break. Okay, so it's given us the little rundown. Smash the like button if you're digging this. Okay, so now we see there's like an I love you virus. Okay, so that's a very big one. Okay, then we could take a look at others. And all we have to do is put this with some images that ChatGPT can also make for us and go through and talk about this. Then we can open up a new one, use ChatGPT 4, right like this, and say, write me a 2,500, or let's say 1,500 word article on 5 ways to protect your computer data from a virus or whatever. Okay? Boom. Now this is going to go through and it's going to write the stuff for me, and it's going to make it make sense in a way that I can use it. Now a lot of you guys might be asking, well, Marcus, what about SEO? You know, is this going to rank in Google? Well, we don't need it to. Because if I'm able to make something good that I can share, like, you know, you go to Facebook and you're like, hey, here's 10 viruses that are out and what to watch out for. Again, what you got to do is focus on letting ChatGPT make something of value that people are going to want. Like this here, 5 ways to protect your data, that's valuable. A lot of people might not know this stuff. So strong passwords, I could go through and I can use like password programs that pay a lot of money. I can use data backup programs or security programs or whatever it is. This stuff makes a ton of money, right? Are you guys starting to get this? Okay. And NCal says, will Google detect AI written? Well, the cool thing about this is you need to pay attention to the two sides of the coin. Okay, the two sides of the coin are that we are not using this to get traffic, right? We're not using this as an SEO article. We are using this as something people would be interested in. Okay, so this is something that we can get traffic utilizing different exe files. And yeah, usually if you write it, you check it out, you tweak it a little bit, you'll be fine, okay? Just base it after the keywords and make sure it's truthful, right? So we're gonna go through and we're gonna write this article. Now, once you have this article, you don't need to get SEO traffic. You don't need to, right? I could go share this on Facebook or whatever. I could run a Facebook ad. I could do a press release. I could do all kinds of things to get traffic to this stuff. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a minute. So we're going to understand exactly what's going on here, okay? So now we have our article that's like, hey, antivirus software. And notice how each and every one of these, again, is leading to stuff that pays us big money. Right, so strong passwords, we could do Keyword Explorer, or let's do the AdWords tool, and we could do something like password program or password security or something like that. And we're gonna see that this stuff leads to things that pay lots of money, $25, $14, on and on we go. So now that we know, hey, wait a minute, all this stuff that ChatGPT is writing about links to stuff that pays money. Antivirus software. Norton pays a fortune for that traffic. Data backups, encryption. Now, if you want to get traffic for this stuff, you could do something like remove exe. Okay? What kind of exes do people want to remove? Did we spell that right? Remove, yeah. Right like this. How to remove whatever exe. So these are all people that are looking to remove different files that could be viruses, that could be risky, that could lead to all of this stuff that will make us money. Okay, so we would literally just get traffic for all of this, which is super easy. You can see the competition is nothing. We flip them into our article. So we're like, hey, I know you're here looking about this, remove this. Okay, now here's how to remove it, and here's what you need to know. That program also links to this, which means you should back up your data or read this report on how to keep your data secure. And lo and behold, ChatGPT is going to make that content for us, okay? You can literally go out there and have an AI program create images or whatever it is. You could talk about all kinds of things. And when you understand that, hey, we can use trigger words, we can use what ChatGPT says about these, right? So pick one. You don't like the mortgage or data backup? Maybe you could go for solar panels. Why is my electric bill so high? Ways to lower my electric bill. Actually, years ago, back in the year 2000, I was like one of the first people to have a ClickBank account back in 1999. And I'll never forget, I had an article on my site about ways to lower your electric bill. And that article sold this book that I had, which was a private label book. I didn't even write it. And I made $21 the first day. It was the first day I made $21 without doing anything because it was 4th of July. I was at my family's house. And I made 21 bucks, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. And that was the niche, the lowering the electric bills. And so we look at this and we're like, okay, well, what about life insurance or fitness or health? And we start to understand that there's lots of ways to make money, but we need to keep our eye on the stuff that's working. So we got top, middle, bottom of funnel. Again, we're talking about how that works. The top of the funnel is the people that don't yet know what they're doing. Like they don't know they need this stuff. It's our job to help them. Guy with a virus doesn't know he should back up his data.
we're here to help him with that, okay? Bottom of funnel is like, yeah, what's the best virus software? That's the bottom of the funnel. They're looking for this stuff. Next, we're going to look at the high-paying ad keywords. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get them to the link, right? The links that pay us money, you're going to use like Google Ads, you're going to use Taboola, Mediavine. There's another one too, skips my mind. Something with an E. But there's another one out there. We'll have a list at downloadmynotes.com. And these programs will drive you, Ezoic, that's it. And these programs will pay you for clicks. Okay, you can also use affiliate offers and different things like that. But if you could crack the code to this stuff, which with ChatGPT, it's not hard to do, right? We just go out there and we ask it to crack the code. Then we could drive people to the link. Then we're going to go through and create content, and then we're going to think of all the ways that we can get traffic, because once we have something that's of value, maybe we have our virus report or mortgage report, or maybe something like what to do if banks fail. Okay, this is huge. You see people all the time. A lot of them are like conspiracy people, which I don't do that. I like to do things that we know is factual, not stuff that might be. But what you're going to notice is that a lot of people use this traffic and use the buzzwords to make a lot of money. And we're starting to understand that, okay, these people that are looking up bank failures and reading about bank failure, in their mind, like how many of you guys, if you're honest with yourself, when you saw the bank things, you were like, uh-oh, what about my bank? Right? And you started to wonder, hey, what's going to happen to my deposits if all this stuff hits the fan? And we start to realize that, hey, wait a minute, yeah, I'm a little worried. And what's happening is you are basically using ChatGPT and other programs to find out what people are going to think about. This is predictive search. Like when you looked at it, or when we talked about it earlier, there's actually a video here. It's like 10 years old or 9 years old back when I got out of rehab, where we talked about the different things people search for and what it leads into. This is something that I've been doing for 23 years, and if you can predict what's going to be in their mind, or even bring it to their mind, right? These bank failures made us think about things that we didn't normally think about. They're like, hey, go to the bank, the money's there. They got a big vault. It's got to be secure. Doesn't the insurance cover all this? But now we find ourselves thinking about this other stuff. And this other stuff is what leads to lots of money. And if we can understand that, that is the key. And when I looked at my search history after I got out of rehab, it was like, hey, does alcohol make you crazy? What's wrong with my thought life? Why do I feel like this all the time? How do you know if you're an alcoholic? And a lot of these terms are very inexpensive, and you can even get free traffic for many of them, but they're leading to stuff that makes lots of money. And when you understand, you can go to ChatGPT and you could say something like, let's do a new one here. What are some things people would search for before they know they have an alcohol problem? Okay, now it might not do this, but actually it is. Okay, how much is too much? Am I an alcoholic? Signs, I mean, are you guys seeing how, like, yeah, this AI is pretty damn good. It's doing a pretty darn good job of predicting what people want. Let's do another one. What are some things people would search for before they decide on bankruptcy? Okay, bankruptcy, again, like we go here. How many of you guys are digging this? Are you guys liking this stuff? I hope you are, because I'm literally giving you the keys to the kingdom here. This is how it works, right? My idea here is I'm going to teach you everything I know, and if you want to work with me, the links are down there on the bottom. You can work with me, but I'm going to teach you everything I know. You can go use it. You can make as much as you want. You don't even got to say thank you, although I do appreciate if you smash the like button, and then if you want to work with me later, you could do that. But when we look at this, we could do file bankruptcy. And these bankruptcy attorneys are going to pay a fortune for this stuff. right? Look at this. Chapter 13 bankruptcy lawyer, $38 a click. How do you like them apples? There's some good apples. Those apples pay lots of money. And while we've been looking that up, ChatGPT has been going out there and finding out what people are searching for. What are the most common bankruptcy forms? USA. Okay? This will show us exactly what's going on, and we can start to look at this and predict what people are going to want, because eventually, if bankruptcy is their best option, obviously, always give them good stuff. We're going to look at that and understand exactly how it works. Okay? So chapter 7, so that's not really doing the good. I would do, what are the forms people need to file bankruptcy? It thought forms, like forms of bankruptcy, which we don't exactly want, but we could do something like this and do, what are the forms? So we'll just stop that one. We'll add this new one. What are the forms people need to file for bankruptcy? And we're going to go through and look at this in a very, very simple way. Okay? Very cool. Lightning, if you have a support issue, just go to PCMoneymaking.com, open a live chat. We have a team that's there all the time via live chat. You can open up live chat. They will help you with it. You don't need to spam the comments. Just ask them on live chat, okay? Very cool. And let's see, remove. What do we got? Okay, so that's where you get support. If you have trouble getting support, it's because you're not looking in the right spot. PC Money Making, click the live chat. You'll be talking to them literally right now. Okay, so we're going to go through and we're like, hey, check it out. Here are the forms: voluntary petition, summary of assets and liabilities. So there you go, Form 106. Okay, right like this. We go here, Form 106, and you're going to find out people actually do search for this. Now that's a little low, so we'll take the SUM off it, and we got Form 106. Okay, Form 106. We could even do bankruptcy forms. And when you understand that this leads to stuff that makes lots of money, then bada bing, there you go, right? And it's very simple to do. A lot of people overcomplicate this and make it something that it doesn't need to be. You just have to go out there and create something that these people are going to want, something that's helpful for them, something that we can use. And then we go through and we get traffic. And again, getting traffic, you can do press releases. So let's line up the ways you can get traffic, okay? So for traffic on this, once I have my report, I could do a Facebook, I could do Instagram, I could just Instagram images of different helpful things or whatever. I can do SEO. SEO would work really good. But again, when you're using ChatGPT and things like that for SEO, then what you want to do is focus on creating good content, make it a little bit different, and really work with the AI to ask it more stuff that other people aren't going to think about. Okay? We can go out there, we can do a press release. Press releases make lots of money if done correctly. We can do a blog. We can do video traffic, right? Maybe you do a video on how to fill out every form for bankruptcy, right? And we go through, we're like, okay, now I'm starting to understand exactly how this works. Now I'm starting to see what's going on. Let's see, John says 19 trillion in deposits in the US banks. Imagine the bank searches going on. Exactly. And you know what's funny about it? A lot of people that freak out about the national debt, surprisingly, always equals pretty close to the amount of money in the US, because without debt, you wouldn't have money. So if you paid the debt, there would be no money. But at any rate, that's for another day. And we could start to look at this and understand. Now, Cam says, so the content ChatGPT comes up with isn't good for SEO. Well, it can be. Yeah, it can be if, big if, you direct it. Now, if I go to ChatGPT and I'm like, write an article about flowers, yeah, this is going to be terrible for SEO. It's going to be hideous. However, if I go through and say, what are the different rose colors for different occasions and meanings, Okay, that's something that'll be more specific. Okay, does that make sense? Smash the like button if that makes sense to you. And we say, what are the different rose colors? And boom. Now we have something that we can use. And then, of course, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to link them to flower delivery, which, ladies and gentlemen, pays tons of money. And this is exactly what we do in our high ticket niche program. And what I do is I like to kind of rig the game. So flower delivery, you see, pays a lot. Is it $80? Probably not. Remember, these are a grain of salt. We don't know if they're paying that exact amount for flowers. I doubt it's $80, but we do see that, hey, a lot of high competition, a lot of big numbers. So there are big numbers. Am I going to get 80? Probably not. Can I expect to get maybe 30 cents to $1.50? Yeah, that'd be pretty good. And I mean, think about it. What if I had an article that's like, hey, in love? Great. Here's an article that you can download about the 7 rose colors and when to use them. And then on your link, you're like, click here for the top places to buy flowers. Boom. Okay, are you guys starting to get it? Smash the like button if you are. If not, I think you need to watch this video again because you need to get this. This is very important. And when you understand it, you're going to have the aha moment that is going to work. And so now we have this article we can use. And we could go out there. I go on Instagram and I'm like, okay, here's a picture of a peach rose. Here's what it means. Purple rose. Here's what it means. Blue, whatever. Okay, and we start to understand, oh, I get it. I've been focusing on getting the competitive traffic because all the other marketers have been telling me I need a buyer market. I need expensive traffic. No, you don't. What you need is to figure out where you can get in the top of the funnel and lead them down to things that pay you lots of money. And when you understand that you can start using ChatGPT to do a lot of this work for you, that's where the rubber meets the road. Now, when I do the domain stuff, what I'm going to do is just go to GoDaddy auctions, right, like this, and I'm going to find domains that have rankings based on what I want, and then that's the domain I'll set this stuff up on, right? So I could go over here. I like to use the classic, and then I'm just going to go here, and I could do something like flowers, find a domain that has to do with flowers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find stuff that has links, right? So this tool here, which if you're in my domain class, you'll get this tool, but we can take this, let's see, let's do a little bit more. We'll do, I think we could show 200 of them, right, like this, and then we'll go through, capture them all. And then what I could do is I could put these into a program like Ahrefs right here, or SEMrush or others. And I'm going to do a batch analysis, right, like this. And I'm going to find ones that already rank. Because if I can find stuff that already ranks, I know that flowers pays money. Like that's our constant. We're good. Then what I do is find ones that are cost effective that had some rankings. Like maybe this one has some rankings. Okay, it went for like some bodega flowers or whatever. And if you look long enough and you start to understand how this works, you're going to be always out there looking at things, understanding the market, seeing what works, and then maybe you too can get a Lamborghini full of cash in your office, right, like this one here, right? And you start to look at that and it's like, okay, there we go. Make it work. Bada bing, bada boom. I get my domain. I put the content up. I focus on giving good value. I focus on the things that pay me. I smash the like button. I subscribe. And I check out the links in the description because they're going to go into this in even more detail.